BTMreview.com. This is the Retro Rampage podcast, episode 3. I'm Aaron, and this is Riverman. What's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much. We have a couple of updates before we move on to more news bits about what we talked about in the first couple episodes. Mainly, Retron 5 has been released. I know with episode 1, we made that the topical discussion. One of the topical discussions because it'd been just drawn out and delayed after delayed after delayed. And here we are a couple weeks later and it got released. I credit us, River, for making it come out.
You know what? We said something, the next day it popped up. So, let's give ourselves a pat on the back.
It really did. We made the podcast and we released it the next morning, if not that night. And literally an hour after we posted it, 2 hours after we posted it, the reviews were starting to come out. Like, I think we had commented on things we were complaining that, they're giving it to a couple of these scrubs online, but they're not giving it to any of the credible websites. Are they scared? Yada, yada, yada. And then our foots went in our mouths because then right after we posted it, IGN got it. We name dropped them and people like that. And we had some people commenting on that.
On YouTube, they're hitting us up.
Technically, we got to it first. We did. So it's all legit. But anyway, the Retron 5 technically got released 2 days ago on June 6th. And
if you want to call it a release.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you want to call it a release, it was so limited. From what I understand, only brick and mortar stores got it, and I believe they only got 4 at maximum units each. So I don't know about my town. River, you say you're sold out.
Yeah, we're sold out, and I was kind of waiting for Amazon or Newegg.com to pick them up, so.
Well, and Amazon, they're sold out online from what I can see. I mean, anybody that was carrying it, like Amazon or even Newegg or whoever, I think even Hastings was, I don't know. But all these people that were, they sold them in pre-orders, and they never had any past pre-orders once they sold out. Who knows? Maybe Amazon doesn't want to buy off anymore because they had to cover all those pre-order cut prices.
Well, you can go on eBay and pick one up for $250 if you really want to.
You can go on Amazon and buy it through a second-party seller for $250.
That's ridiculous.
It's absolutely stupid. But I'm with you. I'm kind of at the point where I want to wait for it to become available on Amazon. The price tag is kind of hefty, and with Amazon, of course, as most of you probably should know, you can get away with no taxes and even no shipping on Amazon. So, but yeah, I mean, the reviews have started spilling in. A lot of these credible websites, actually most of the credible websites, GameSpot and IGN, they've all put out reviews, and the credible YouTubers and online bloggers like Pat Contry, Gamester81, all these people that have been lobbying for it. And I'm actually pretty stoked about the reviews, not necessarily because it's what I wanted out of the system, but I'm glad that they're super honest.
Yeah.
And they're pretty consistent. Have you watched or read any of the reviews for the Retron?
I have, and around the board, it seems like people are giving us solid reviews, probably like 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, and they're saying that the reason they're not giving it higher scores is the fact that a lot of the games, like some, some cards aren't getting played right and everything like that. So the firmware updates are coming. So hopefully everything tests out really good here in the future. So.
Well, I mean, aside from that, build quality is sort of a common theme I'm seeing. Obviously, anybody that's owned any other Retron or Hyperkin product knows the build qualities are kind of cheap and whatever. But everybody's saying the display, if you want video quality, sound quality, it actually does the trick. It's not actually, a retro console. It's an emulation machine. You put it has the cartridge and everything, but it just rips the ROM and stores it to its temporary memory. So all you're doing is playing a ROM.
And I've been going back and forth whether I want to pick this up first or pick up a Wii U first, and at this point, I think I'm going to get a Wii U. I'm going to hold off for another 3 or 4 months until this comes, like we were saying, comes out on Amazon or something like that, and all the bugs are worked out. Hopefully,
I hope it doesn't take 3 or 4 months, personally. But I heard the first firmware update was already pretty good. Because it required a firmware update right out of the box. Yeah. That's how much of a fuck up it kind of is, because they realized probably from early review units being released. Oh, these aren't working. So I mean, for the actual day release a couple days ago, they already had one ready. And, I'm going to refer to Pat Contry, or AKA Pat the NES Punk. He tried out, like 25 games on each system for it, So not every game, but quite a few. And at least a third of the games seemed like they didn't work.
Was it the reproduction carts?
He threw in a few repro carts in there too, just for good measure, and I think for the most part those didn't work. But anyway, the big thing is that there were some games that you would expect to work that didn't work, and vice versa. Everybody talks about, in the world of emulation, Star Fox. ROM emulations have trouble playing Star Fox. They always have. This plays Star Fox without a hitch. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Retron 3 was able to play it. But you can't play, for example, as they've pointed out, Sonic 3 inside Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
You can't play a Comet. And there was a whole list of things. And it wasn't necessarily that a lot of them could play, but another main issue was that you couldn't save your data.
Huh.
It's like, yeah, oh great, I want to play my Game Boy games. That's awesome. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I can't wait to play Pokemon. Oh, a big role-playing game. I can't save it. And that was the case with things like Dragon Warrior and Pokemon Red, and it was really disappointing. But like you said, firmware updates. I was reading on their forums and their Facebook pages and things like that, and I've got people on there saying, literally some people that had 5 games in their collection that would work the first day they got it, and then after the firmware update, it increased quite a bit. And then there's another person I read on there that said after they updated the firmware, that the system no longer works.
No shit. Oh man.
Yeah, and so I don't know about any resolution from that, but maybe it's always good. Good rule of thumb to always wait it out when it comes to new technology, no matter what.
I'll probably be waiting on that for a little bit, but I still am excited for it. So
I still want it because I'm kind of in the mindset of even if you want to collect your old consoles, I'd rather just put them up in my closet, save the space, and not save them the wear and tear, and have something like that. I think they're getting closer, man. I mean, I think we might be looking at something that turned out to be a little bit ambitious, because it was quite a jump from the Retron 3 to the 5.
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know, with all this new technology and stuff, it comes more potential problems. But you had mentioned wanting to get a Wii U, which actually kind of can jump us into an update on episode 2, where we were talking about the prospects of Mario Kart 8 saving the Wii U, or Nintendo, and their blunders. And since that, podcast, Mario Kart 8 has come out. I got it first day. It is incredible. I've been having a blast with it. When I do have free time, I've been playing that game like a fiend. And I'm very happy to say that it worked wonders for Nintendo. Not only was it the highest selling Wii U game, which I know isn't going to take very much, but it was a monster success. In just the first weekend, it sold something like 1.2, 1.3 million units.
Have you tried the online gameplay on that at all?
I did.
How is it?
I tried it once, and it was a lot of fun. I don't have any friends online, because with Nintendo, it's not like PlayStation where you just, you can add your friends with their name or whatever. You have to have like a friend ID. But, I played just sort of worldwide, and it kind of paired me in a race with just random people. Mm-hmm. I was playing with a couple of Japanese people, a couple of Canadians, and, whatever. And it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. But the game itself is just a blast. It is by far the most balanced Mario Kart game ever. Most people, know about the notorious blue shell. It's like, the people in last place are going to get all the really good weapons, and the people in first place are going to get all the crap weapons. That's still kind of the case, but it's super balanced, and you could never avoid those blue shells. They've released a weapon that can counter the blue shell. You don't see that many of them. It's just really balanced, and it's it's a lot of fun. Granted, and there is actually a little bit of a challenge to it, I think, more than a couple of the previous games. I mean, I had my moments where I was cussing up a storm, because you might be in first place, you got to work for it, but as soon as you slip up, everybody's like right on your tail. You slip up and wipe out for half a second, you're in 7th place, and like I said, you're waking up the neighbors with the F-bomb. But it's a blast.
Is there like a create a character element to the game at all, or?
You get to unlock your me character, which is sort of like your avatar, which is kind of cool. But there's no other than that. I mean, you can create your me, so technically.
Well, that's cool though.
Yeah, but anyway, the topic of that is Nintendo. Hopefully, they keep this momentum going because it's done what they wanted to. And to kind of put it into perspective, a few years back when the Nintendo Wii was still out and, living large, New Super Mario Bros. Wii came out like a handful of Christmases ago. That was the biggest game of the holiday season, and that game sold like 800,000 copies in the first week. So by comparison, in just the first weekend, this one sold 1.2 million. So and it increased Wii U sales by 666%. So that's a pretty good number, and isn't it mostly in Japan then, or? Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if the North American numbers are out yet, but at least in Japan, for the first time ever, it toppled PS4 in hardware sales. Oh, wow. It actually sold more Wii U's than PS4s, and I believe the same thing for the United Kingdom, which is the second biggest market. I think it was on track to do the same thing for North America. I don't think the numbers were out yet, but in North America, Sony's big game was, what was it, Watch Dogs, or whatever, the viral game or whatever. I'm not too... It's hard for me to keep track of a lot of the modern games, but there's so many of them. Well, and just like Xbox's Titanfall, it blundered, and it wasn't nearly what people wanted it to be. And so, that's the advantage to Nintendo. So anyway, with that many more units sold, now the back catalog will start. More people will go out and buy all these other games that were out. All these people that said, well, I'll look into it when I get around to getting a system, So hopefully they keep that momentum going. They don't have another lull period. They keep it going, and Smash Bros. Be out in the fall, and hopefully they can fix this mess. So, yeah, I'm anticipating, man. I need to pick one up here in the next few months. I need the Mario bundle. Well, they were selling out like crazy. Or they? Oh. Good luck. I told you this is the time to jump on it, because if this one proved to be a hit, which it is, because they said 85% of the Wii U sale increases were all those bundles. Yeah. And like I was trying to say, as soon as they pick up their luck, they're not going to do that anymore. But I should be able to go to like a Sam's or a Costco and get one though. So yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know how many they're going to put out there, but yeah, definitely jump on it if you can, people out there. Oh, and I did find out that the free game download from the Nintendo Network eShop is applicable to if you buy the game bundle as well. Oh, okay. So that's an extra bonus. But anyway, the new topic ahead. In the last week, they released the Mortal Kombat X trailer. Not Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat X. What was your thoughts about that, River? You know what? I thought it was killer. I love the trailer up into the Wiz Khalifa song. I thought that was kind of stupid. But I know how they're trying to, adapt it to more of the modern day kids and all that shit. But overall, it looked pretty solid. I don't know if that was the gameplay or not, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So there was there cuts of the gameplay in there, or was that just? Oh, okay. That's a part that I don't like, actually, is because the game, it's totally normal in the early, days, the infancy of a new generation. In the case of PS4 and Xbox One, it's always pretty standard that they still release games for the current gen, not the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And I hate that, because this new Mortal Kombat is going to be on all the platforms. It's going to be on PS3 and PlayStation 4. So that tells you right there the graphics are going to be compromised. Yeah. That tells me it's not going to blow my mind necessarily, which kind of sucks. I'd rather have a legit next gen Mortal Kombat game. But how can the graphics get any better from the last one? They're flawless, dude. Easy. The commercial that you saw, the trailer, the gameplay could look like that. That's hard to believe. No way. It could. And if it can't do it now, it'll be able to look like that in a year or two. But I think the gameplay could look like that. But since it's got to be on the old platforms too, because most people still have those, it's going to have to meet it in the middle somewhere. And so since that was merely cutscene footage, it makes me think that it's not going to look too much different from the last one. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But the trailer itself got me pumped. It got me excited. I'm not too tied up on the hip hop music in there because I doubt that's going to be in the gameplay.
I hope not.
No, I doubt it. But it was great. It was cool, but it was nothing more than a teaser. Mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't release any kind of synopsis of the story or what's going to entail and gameplay or anything. That's going to be revealed at this week's E3, which I'm stoked. But from what I gather from the small, tidbit they gave, very cryptic, is something to the effect of, it's Mortal Kombat with the entire world. You're basically in an online world tournament. So it's like, are we gonna, pick our character and it's basically just gonna be like our avatar and we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be sort of devoid of any real story. It's gonna be more like an online thing. I was kind of hoping it was gonna continue off from the actual canon of the last game, but when you watch the trailer, it kind of already throws that out the window because with the last game, they changed the span of time, and Sub-Zero became the cyborg, and that was young Sub-Zero, and then his older brother Sub-Zero was revealed to be Noob Saibot. So that makes me ask, where the fuck did Sub-Zero come from with the mask in this trailer?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can understand why they're not just going to get rid of their, title character or anything, but it just kind of throws the whole last game out the window. The last game ended with Mortal Kombat 4 about to happen again, and I was really hoping that they were going to sort of make the next game sort of like a fixed version of Mortal Kombat 4, retell that story, except retell it better, make the Shinnok character extra scary and all that cool stuff, and even add new characters because, you change time. All kinds of stuff can be different now. I think Ed Boon said at E3 he's going to introduce 2 brand new characters, so this one will have new characters.
Well, and it's going to be great for the fighting game genre. I wonder how the kids nowadays actually respond to, like, fighting games, like, ever since, it seems like Mortal Kombat, the last Mortal Kombat was the first big fighting game since, I don't know, the Street Fighter spin-offs or whatever, but I hope this online gameplay really gets people pumped up and wanting to play online.
Oh, well, fighting games, they had their heyday in the 90s.
Yeah.
They still have their core crowd. They hold tournaments, and, I think at E3 they're going to have a Smash Brothers tournament. They're going to hold free Smash Brothers tournaments and stuff like that. It's there, but it's just not going to be first person shooters.
Yeah,
it's a niche crowd. It's probably always going to be from now on. But I don't know about you, man, but people are still all over the last Mortal Kombat Online.
Oh, okay.
I play it all online too still, and it's still a lot of fun. And as much as I liked something like Street Fighter 4 and its many incarnations, I kind of stopped playing that, and I still play Mortal Kombat. So I just feel like it's this new one, Mortal Kombat X, has a lot to live up to, and I hope it delivers. And I can't wait to see the actual gameplay footage at E3, assuming they're going to have gameplay footage. And I can't wait to hear if there's going to be an actual story mode. I really hope so.
Hopefully, yeah.
With that said, I think it's great. I knew the first one was sort of acting like a catalyst to sort of retcon all the crap games that kind of came before it in the last 10 years. So I knew after we got to relive all the greatness of, Mortal Kombat's just got characters from the first 3 games, total nostalgia trip, and levels from the first 3 Mortal Kombat. I knew that was just going to serve as a setup to make a proper follow-up game with new stuff. And I'm not against new stuff. That's great. Hopefully they've learned their lessons, because when Mortal Kombat was creating new characters post Mortal Kombat 3, they were shitty, so.
No, I agree.
But I think they're on their game. And really quick, the last thing I want to touch on about this trailer is you got to look at all the nuances in there, and it makes you sort of guess about what they're going to introduce in the gameplay or resurrect in the gameplay. If you notice, when you hear, round one fight and they're attacking each other underneath the Wiz Khalifa music, they start running at each other. Does that indicate they're bringing back the run button, the run feature from MK3? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know a lot of MK3 fans that love it.
I love it.
It was crucial to executing a lot of combos in MK3, and
it's one element that I really like, but the MK4 element I don't like.
Okay, what's the MK4 element?
Weapons.
I love that. What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I just never got into it.
Look, and that's the next one. You're right. I never got into running. I don't like it. I never run. I never do it. You'll play with me, and I will never run. I just don't see much.
I love the combos, the runs, everything, dude.
I don't think it ever really assisted me very much. Mortal Kombat 4, as you mentioned, yes. We saw Sub-Zero produce a sword. I don't see what's wrong with weapons. The more weapons, the better. And then you see one of the two rip off the tree branch. They're using environmental weapons.
That's cool. I think that's
How's that any different than a weapon?
I don't know. I mean, because in each level, it's going to be a different thing. I don't know. I never really got into the weapons because, I mean, there's already so many combos and so many other things you need to worry
about. But who's to say you're going to have the same weapons? They already said that you're going to be able to pick your character. You're going to have like a variety of ways you can play as your character.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It sounds like it's going to be really big, and I'm all about it. The more the merrier. You saw I think it was Scorpion jump on the tree branch and do a couple of flips around the tree branch and kick him in the face, which looked like a homage to the original Mortal Kombat movie where Johnny Cage did that to Scorpion.
Yeah.
So if we can have that sort of interactive ability, that's breaking new ground. That's something new that I didn't think they could push it even further. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The only thing is I'm starting to think they're releasing game information and announcing the stuff too early because, it got everybody wet with excitement, but it doesn't come out till very, very late June next year.
Yeah.
So we're looking at over a year.
I'll probably forget about it, yeah.
But anyway, let us know what you think. We're huge Mortal Kombat fans here. What do you think of the trailer in Mortal Kombat X? Which, by the way, I think maybe a little predictable to call it Mortal Kombat X with the whole. I mean, they're not the first game to do that with the 10 Roman numeral, but it's cool.
I think the poster looks sweet too. Just the gray and black. It's so simple, dude. It's cool.
And then it breaks when it shows the logo and the little X, the shards. It's really, really cool. And it's a clever way of calling it Mortal Kombat 10, but at the same time, not calling it Mortal Kombat 10, but yet a follow-up to the rebooted Mortal Kombat. It's very, very suitable. But let us know what you think of the trailer, if there's anything we missed, what you maybe think some of the things meant, or, we're going to have this podcast up before E3, so let us know what you think is going to be on display at E3 and what's going to come of new characters, or what if it's going to be actual story driven, a continuation of the last one. We love talking Mortal Kombat. Blow up our website, btmreview.com, and of course like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, BTM Review, all that great stuff. And the last thing I want to say is anybody out there that loves games like we do, not just games, film, music, we got a home for all of it. We're looking for contributors. Feel free to hit up btmreview.com, check out the contact us section of the page, and if you're interested in blogging, writing, news bits, reviews, potentially even interviewing fine folks, send us a message and correspond with one of us, and we'll get to looking at some of your stuff because we'd love to have you on board and we'd love to expand the team. But for now, thanks guys.